This is Live from the Table, the official podcast of the world-famous Comedy Cellar, available wherever you get podcasts, available on YouTube, which I think is the best way to consume consume our product, because you get to see the video as well as audio. And we do look good. This is Dan Naturman, of course, as always, and we have Noam Dworman. He's the owner of the Comedy Cellar.
Yes.
The ever-expanding, with locations in New York City and Las Vegas, Nevada. We have Periel Aschenbrand here. She's a comedian. She's our producer. She's an on-air...
She's an author.
She's all kinds of things, you know. We also have with us Suzy Weiss. Hello, Suzy.
Thanks for having me.
Suzy is a journalist. She works at the Free Press.
Prior to that, the New York Post.
I used to work at the New York Post, yes.
I used to read you in the Post.
I was a cub reporter at the Post.
A what reporter?
A cub reporter.
Oh, okay.
Cut my teeth there.
Oh, Cub, meaning you were just starting out. You weren't
Yeah.
reporting on the Chicago Cubs, which would be
you could
odd.
call-
I'd be very bad at that.
Talk closer, or maybe turn the mic up. So listen, I want to tell you, Suzy, before the turn to Dan. So Dan says, could we get Suzy Weiss on?
Yeah.
And I don't know if I wrote this to Dan. I said, you know what? I don't ever like to ask my friends to come on the podcast. And my traditional answer is I quote Louis C.K., who in his apology letter said, I realize now that when I ask someone if I can show them my dick, it's not a question, it's a predicament.
I don't think he phrased it.
Yes,
He didn't say, show him my dick.
I think that
In the apology.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he
Because I
did.
wouldn't want to come on the show.
No,
but I would have
because when you ask a friend to do something, it's not like asking a stranger. So I don't ever like to ask friends to come on the show. Before I knew Barry, I invited her on the show. I don't ask Barry to come on the show now.
So can I say
But Dan says, how about this broad Suzy Weiss?
I didn't say broad.
I hope you saw this chick. I'm so happy to be here. It's an honor to be asked to be on the show. I love this show.
First of all, I love you. I want to say two things. First of all, nobody's taking out their dicks. And second of all, as I've said so many times, nobody's coming on a show to do a favor. Like,
Well, I've done it many times.
That's not true. I do it all the time.
I do it all the time.
No, but-
I pretty much every podcast I do, I don't want to
Is
be.
it
And believe me,
favor?
my wife has done favors she didn't want to also.
The reason
Yeah.
I wanted Suzy on, and I'm sure Noam, I don't know how much Noam even wants to talk about this. It's not Ukraine and it's not Israel, but she wrote an article saying, I don't need Ozempic, but I want it.
Much more important than Ukraine and Israel.
Well, I think it's a big deal because everybody, more or less everybody, has issues with their weight, certainly at a certain age. And indeed, if this drug is what it promises, it could be quite revolutionary. So I wanted to talk about it. And I've recently, I know I look good, but
You hitting the O?
what's that? No, I'm not hitting the O, but I read that you're supposed to have a waistline that's half your height, which seems preposterous for a man. I don't know if it's for one. And my height is 5'7", which would be 67 inches. My waist is at its widest point about 38 inches. So I don't think it's even feasible for me to get down to 34, but
Wow.
because I read that it could lead to, because I'm a hypochondriac, I'm a hypochondriac even before anything's happening.
Oh, so you'd be afraid to take the...
No, I'd be
to hit it.
afraid to get, I want to get down to what I'm supposed to be according to what I've read. But I don't
Right.
want to take Ozempic because side effects. But you said you don't have any side effects.
Well, it's funny. I took it last night for this podcast, so I remember the sweet, sweet hit of the O. I stabbed myself last night, and every single time I do it, it's don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Is a horrible idea. You're going to get kids. Boom. Like, it's psychologically, you're like, this is not good. I'm doing something bad. Is like the immediate feeling you get when you're about to do it.
why?
As opposed to even a pill, seems more drastic. You're taking.
Yeah, you're shooting yourself up in the
Is
stomach.
it a big needle or is it
It's
subcutaneous?
tiny. It's tiny, but you can kind of hear it and you can kind of feel it go
Doesn't
in.
it click like?
There's clicking. There's like like the sound of it, like sort of entering your stomach. I mean, it's grotesque. It's a lot like I think The Substance is sort of like about Ozempic, that movie. But yeah, I mean, people should be really aware of the side effects. They're not a joke. For me, they've included being incredibly hot, pretty, confident, constantly being hit on, sexy, my clothes fit better. And you really should consult your doctor before undergoing any of these.
But what
Have you
are
lost weight?
Yeah, I think I lost about like 10 pounds, between 10 and 8.
And how long have you been on it?
I take it, I like microdose it. So I don't take it every week.
You're supposed to take it every week.
You're supposed to take it every week. I take it probably every month. And it just kind of like brings me back down. And then I can eat a lot and then I eventually kind of hit a point where I just decided to take it again.
Wait, is it appetite? It suppresses the appetite. It doesn't actually change your metabolism or anything. It works by suppressing appetite.
It changes something to do with the way you take in sugar, I think, processed sugar, I thought.
I think it's about like, it changes the hormone and your body thinks you're full even when you're not. For what it's meant for me, it's just that food doesn't even occur to you. So it's like never in the past probably 15 years have I not been thinking about, okay, what am I going to eat next? Okay, I ate dessert last night, so I shouldn't eat dessert tonight. Okay, I'm going out to this big dinner, so maybe I'll, not get a sandwich for lunch, whatever. And then it's just gone. And that is like the miracle of it.
But you are, of course, missing out on the fun of eating.
You eat occasionally. I think it's more you're missing out on the terror of like food and fighting your own body more than you're missing out on the fun of eating. I could still take a bite of something and enjoy it. It's just not that thing of like, oh my God, there cannot be an extra French fry on the table. You know what I mean? It's like it gives you control over it more, but you still do eat. I had, what did I eat today? I had 2/4 of a sandwich because there's someone else probably on Ozempic at the office. They're cutting the sandwiches into quarters. So I had their 2 extra quarters, and then I had a bag of pretzel sticks.
I've read about Ozempic face.
Can I just tell you?
Yeah,
please.
Because I first heard about Ozempic a couple of years ago when a friend of mine who's diabetic was taking it, and he said a side effect is this appetite and loss of weight. And he knew, because he's a doctor, he knew that this was coming.
And he invested.
No, not everybody's Jewish, Dan. And but I just double checked with ChatGPT. Yes, weight loss is a known side effect of Ozempic, semaglutide, but it was not the original purpose of the drug. The original intended use was approved to type 2 diabetes treatment.
What was Viagra
glycemic
for? It was for
control.
the heart or something, right?
Viagra was
also
yes,
for...
yes,
And minoxidil.
And minoxidil, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So the idea is that like you just don't think about food. Like that's what I've heard. It's like
your appetite is gone
You're just
or reduced.
Right. It's like what I say in the piece, it unhooks your like skinniness from willpower. So it's like you lose weight, but it's not like this negotiation and this fighting against yourself. It's just that, and I think women have very different, I always said like, how men lose 50 pounds, they eat 3 less tortilla chips. They don't even have to eat no tortilla chips. Like they just eat a little bit less. I've seen men lose so much weight this way.
That's not my experience. After 50,
you might hit the wall.
After 50, it seems you have 3 choices: hunger, fat, or Ozempic.
And that's what women face at like 15, I would say, 15 or 16.
And by the way, I've read about this Ozempic face where I don't see it with you. You got a full face. And
There's a bit butt too about this.
Yeah. The face also had edits. I have a Jennifer Aniston 2005 in the middle.
All right, first of all, Suzy, you have always been quite attractive.
Thank you.
I've never, in a million years, have never put you in the category of describing to anybody as even like kind of chunky or zoftig. Like always been like
Zoftig. I love that. I love Zoftig.
Never.
Do you want to explain that to the audience?
Means pleasantly curvaceous.
Like every Yiddish word, it describes itself.
Yeah.
Rubenesque.
I never like for you to think that you had a weight issue. It goes to a deeper societal problem,
right?
Which
Yeah,
is that
that's
women
the
think
point.
they're overweight when they're not.
I don't think I had a weight issue. I had a real estate issue. Real estate in my brain was being taken up by something that I felt was kind of below me to worry about. Just like with my nose, I didn't have a deviated septum. I had a nose I didn't like. I had shirts that were kind of too tight around my arms, and you get that feeling, oh, I don't like this. And then there was a button I could press to make it all go away.
Right, but
so I
you
pressed
also
the button.
said you lost 10 pounds, which probably made you happy.
It made me happy, but it also like, that's the beautiful thing about Ozempic. I lost the 10 pounds without trying that hard.
Right.
What Noam is saying is maybe you could have also learned to love your body as it was. That might have been another solution.
That would have been another solution. It would have taken a long time.
It would have happened.
And it would have never fucking happened. I mean, it's like how many Weight Watchers points have been counted in my lifetime? How many imperfections blurred and how many times have I seen my mother go like this in the mirror with like her neck and her, it's just like, this is part of being a woman, whether we like it or not. And, Kate Moss famously said, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. There's a lot wrong with that. It equates your worthiness with being skinny. Mm-hmm. It gives permission for young girls not to eat, but no one's saying it doesn't feel good to be skinny.
Or look good.
Or look good.
Of course it looks good.
Yeah, and be confident.
I mean, also the definition in the culture that we live in. No. that's true. Don't do that. That's why somebody like Suzy, who is by all accounts like perfect, wants to lose 10 pounds. Like, we are fed these images as young girls nonstop. Ask your daughter.
Oh, I know you fed the images, and there's this hyper weight loss, like the Kate Moss thing, which I don't think is considered even attractive by men, and the camera ads,
Right.
blah blah blah. But I do think that in general, being thin is also part of looking fit, and
No. Wait a second. Kate Moss
also healthy.
was the pinnacle of gorgeous my entire
among women, not
Yeah,
among men.
well,
I think,
Yes.
she was beautiful among women. But women dress for women.
Yeah.
She's on the cover of every single
But
fashion
it's like
magazine.
men, the opposite sex, which is or the whatever sex it is that you try to appeal to. This is also part of the normal equation of what is attractive. Well, it's attractive to who? Most people are concerned about looking attractive to a mate.
Okay,
Right.
and
Or a
how
date.
many heavy set girlfriends have you had in when before?
That they started that way.
Heavy set or just
Well, whatever,
curvaceous.
however you want to define it. I mean, fat, heavy, chubby, Rubenesque.
if you want to get into
Zoptic.
it,
No,
I can
I'm
tell you- I can
asking
tell you something you might
But
not
now
know.
you're doing what Omar Bartho
No, I'm going to
did.
answer you. I don't do that.
How many heavy girlfriends?
Girlfriends, I haven't had that many girlfriends.
Wait, first of all, it's not heavy, but Juanita is got all the curves and all the right play, all the right junk.
answer, please?
You know where it needs to be.
Liaisons. I want to tell you something about weight. Now, this is going to be hard to hear. I haven't ever heard anybody talk about this. Like if you, well, I can tell you two things actually. But first thing is that if you grab a fat ass, they're not all the same. Some fat asses are pretty substantial feeling, and others you feel like you just
Like smushy? Like
Yeah.
a garbage bag of cottage
and you just
cheese?
others feel like you just put your hand into a plastic bag of water, and
Oh.
that's different. You know,
Okay.
like I've been with some girls, but they were overweight, but they were still they felt good, and then that's just a different thing. It's a different category.
So they were.
There's more things to worry about than
Yes.
just.
Oh, by the
If
way,
there's
I'll-
a texture thing that Noam's picking up on that.
I'll wager, by the way, that I would have probably preferred you with your old nose. I've never seen you with the old nose.
Yeah.
When did
But
you get it done?
10 years ago. I was
I'm almost
before you.
Yeah.
in almost every case when a woman gets a nose job, I preferred it the old way. Because I think that's another
But
issue.
the new tits are awesome.
Yeah, exactly. We can
And-
go top to bottom. I mean, I think what Noam might be saying is that if given the choice between a woman 10 pounds overweight and a woman 10 pounds underweight, you would choose 10 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Yeah.
can say that, but
you know,
again,
right.
the answer to the question I have not received.
What's the question?
he's-
is
I think-
how many heavy women?
What would define
You
it?
said you didn't have that many girlfriends. Had sex with whatever you want.
Quite a few.
Enough to judge it.
Have-
Quite
I
a
think
few.
men are repulsed by extreme skinny.
Have you seen his wife's curves?
That's not a
Listen,
joke.
Juanita's
Juanita was
perfect.
pretty skinny when-
I mean, Juanita is gorgeous and perfect. Like
Clearly,
that's
you've
not an
noticed my wife.
example.
Yeah.
That's not an
Sounds fine,
example.
honestly.
I'm talking about like chubby, Rubenesque, Zoftic,
Well,
whatever
those
these words you're
definitions, those
throwing at-
definitions can be interpreted in different ways.
Right.
It's
well,
true.
And the message
so the
that we
point-
get is that we're fat. That's what I'm saying. That when you
But
have a body like that, the message that women and young girls receive is that they're fat.
Well, I think they probably receive mixed messages.
Can I say
There
something
is
about,
mixed message.
Can
I
I
think
say
that's a
something
good
about
point.
another aspect of this, which
Please.
is like, you're doing a crossword puzzle and you're not supposed to look at the answers in the back, and somehow that kind of legitimate, like, don't cheat is being played out here like, I should lose weight the old-fashioned way. Like, even if there's a totally harmless drug that I could take every day, make my life much easier, it's not the same. I'm cheating. I'm looking at the answers. I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
I think you live in 2025. Now, I'm always like skeptical. Like, do they really know if you take something every day? You try not to take these things because you have some sense of maybe there's something we don't know. I mean, they're still going back and forth in eggs. You saw that now? There's a new study out now saying eggs are great for you. They said it might even lower your cholesterol. That's
Come
the funniest
on.
part.
The good cholesterol, the bad cholesterol.
So you don't really know. But leaving that aside, if you're not worried about that, just take the fucking shots.
But also, how many medical interventions have I done that I've never really seen a benefit from? Took the COVID vaccine, didn't really know what that was going to do to me. 2, not 3. That's my motto. Just a million things, and I'm grateful for all of it. But none of them offered a really tangible hey, you're going to like unlock a part of your brain from this. It's like, why do I have to feel bad about that one?
But how concerned are you about because I would be very concerned. But that's me. That's, how concerned are you about long-term side effects that maybe I know they used it for diabetes, I guess, for a while. So
not more concerned that I am about GMOs and forever chemicals.
GMOs are
but a million things. It's like, if something's going to get me, something's going to get me. I might as well go out skinny. You know what I mean?
Wait, Tiana, what do you think? Tiana's our...
She's our sound person.
Oh, this is something I discussed with my therapist probably every few weeks of... my body image and how I feel versus how I look, what I think I look like versus what I actually look like. It's constant. It's like up there with how am I going to make money? It's just constantly swirling around in my mind.
That's nice.
So are you having listened to, by the way, you look great.
If this was 1979, I would tell you you're super hot, Tiana.
You're like paying the toll of like, you look good, you don't need it, but what are you thinking?
But are you saying to yourself, listening to Suzy, that this is an avenue you want to explore?
I'm like you. I'm fearful of the side effects. Yeah. And secretly, deep down, I would love to be skinny on my own and be like, haha, I'm skinny on my own.
Yeah.
But I think about it. It's everywhere. It's all over the train. It's every single ad that pops up on my social media, on my streaming platforms. People are saying that it would benefit from some of the stuff that I suffer from, and it's just like, it's annoying.
It's annoying.
Let me make both of you feel better. I've never heard a man say, I don't want to take Viagra, that's cheating.
That's what I was thinking on the way here. It's like, do it the old-fashioned way. Be humiliated and suffer. And this is your age, and you need to accept it.
Now there's a whole panoply, is that the word? There's several of these drugs. They're in a class of drugs called, what are they called?
Semaglutides.
GLP-1.
Yeah, that's right.
A comic that I'm not going to mention his name, but he took Manjaro, which sounds, doesn't sound like a drug. Ozempic sounds like a drug.
Manjaro's the final boss, by the way. That's the really hardcore one.
Well, so what are the differences between these, and why did you go with Ozempic?
It's the one I got online for cheap. I think I'm on Wegovy.
So Wegovy, there's...
so you're just saying Ozempic, like, hand me a Kleenex, even if it's another...
Yeah, it's like Xerox.
No. Okay. 1 second. I just had a meeting with my doctor today, and she explained this to me and sent me an article about it.
Oh my God, everyone's talking about it.
Ozempic is for diabetes, and Wegovy is for weight loss. But
Wegovy...
It's the same thing. And then there's Manjaro and the other one that are also... There are only 2 drugs, but once they figured out that each of those drugs... Ozempic and the other one was also good for weight loss, they created a second one. And in Ozempic's case, it's Wegovy. And I think it's Manjaro's case, I don't know what that other one is called. But those are the only 2 things that exist.
Well, soon there will be a pill.
Yes.
In late this year. And once that happens, I mean... The horses have left the stable, but I used to date a guy who was the bartender at a jazz bar around here, and there was a bouncer, and he was huge, and I just walked by, and I think now I think there's few people who don't know someone in their life who has lost an incredible amount of weight at this point.
Yeah.
And I walked by and I saw this bouncer, and he's slim. Like, I used to see this guy put down milkshakes, burger, like you wouldn't believe. And he's just sort of sitting there. He looks 20 years younger.
Wait, that was the guy you dated?
No, that was the bouncer at the
bouncer.
I dated the bartender.
Well,
would you date an overweight guy like that?
Sure. I'm not like as tied to looks.
You're not shallow as I thought.
Yeah, exactly. Shallow about other things.
Well,
as long as he's tall.
You're harder on yourself, obviously, than you are on others, which is not rare.
Well, yeah, probably not rare.
And I assume you don't judge other women as harshly as you judge yourself, I would imagine. Or maybe you do.
I don't know if it's about judgment. I think it's a gift I gave myself. That's really how I think about it.
Do you think, where this really could be revolutionary is the health implications. You were not at a weight, I'm assuming, where this is an issue. You weren't doing this this is purely for aesthetic purposes.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is essentially vanity and cosmetics. But when I think about people who can't chase their children up the stairs, or can't go on a walk, or they have hypertension, they have to take 15 Tylenol pills a day. And now I see it on Reddit because I like to read about these things. They don't know what to do with all the time. They're thinking of taking up gardening. It's like the dignity, I think, not for people like me, but for people who have really suffered with their weight their whole lives, I think is immeasurable.
Well, if this can do what it promises to do, which is to allow people to be at a healthy weight without terrible side effects or long-term horror.
The side effects pass. It's one of these things.
But also, you stop gambling, you stop drinking. There's all these. Tim Dillon has a great joke. It's turning everyone into a Norwegian. It's like.
Before I go.
Yeah.
Let me see if are you going to come down afterwards and
I'll hang out.
Mystery guest. I'm so worried about missing a text from this person I'm talking about.
I wish you were like that when I sent
and your sister an email. I have
Suzy's sister is Barry Weiss, by the way.
Barry Weiss is my sister.
I automatically get a text message whenever I get an email from him. Anyway, listen. Because he doesn't send me 20 emails a day. Listen, I want to say something about the Weiss sisters that I'm fortunate to know somewhat. You guys are very, very unusual people in the scheme of things, in my experience in life, for the following reason. You're not the only really warm, friendly people I've met. And you're not the only fierce political warriors I've met. But the combination of the two is very, very unusual. You guys are like fucking, animals.
We're animals.
But you're always smiling and warm and have good vibes with everybody. I'm assuming this is just something you guys are born with.
Thank you for saying that. That's very nice. I think Barry was born with, I've always known Barry was sort of this powerful, but now other people are sort of noticing it. We have two more sisters, and we're all sort of like this.
That's what I was going to ask you. Who are they?
Well,
what are their?
My middle sisters, they live in Pittsburgh with my parents, and they're very smartly not in the media business.
Matchmaker.
Wow.
And Little Women. It's crazy.
Wait, so Barry's the oldest and you're the youngest, and then you have two in the middle? That's incredible.
It's Little Women.
That's so cute.
What would that make me, Beth?
Oh, I'm not familiar with
Lucy May Alcott wrote Little Women in the book in the building right across the street.
Really?
Yeah, in the red building across the street. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just want to say that my doctor sent me this today. If GLP-1 drugs are good for everything, should we all be on them?
We're done talking about the Weiss sisters?
No, we can.
So nice.
I have more to say about weight loss and also about dating as it relates to.
Okay, go ahead. I wanted to get that in.
Well, I was saying that
lovely,
if weight is responsible and more, because I've been researching it because of my own struggles with being imperceptibly overweight.
Right.
But overweight nonetheless by like a pound. But because
you're not overweight, you're petty.
I'm so neurotic that if it tells me, well, now you're at higher risk for dementia one day, and you're at higher risk for diabetes, and you're at higher risk for the cardiac shit, and even mood disorders. Well, it's too late for that, but but that could improve that as well. If this can do everything it says it can do, we're talking about a revolution.
Yes,
it's. I wanted to call the piece "Shooting Myself with a Silver Bullet" because it really is it almost feels like
sounds like a whisper.
It's like a horror movie in that you sort of feel like it's like it can cure your Alzheimer's and your dementia and your this and your that.
But they say that, right?
I know, but it's like in 6 months we're either all going to be on or we're all going to be dead on the ground. It's like it's too good. It's like there's something like almost biblical about
Alzheimer's
it.
or ward it off?
Well, Alzheimer's, they think one of the risk factors is being overweight.
Studies show that the obesity and diabetes medication also reduces heart attacks, cancerous migraines, and memory loss. That's the piece that my doctor sent me today. And she also said that it's been being used for 20 years. So these side effects.
Right, for diabetes. So we kind of know already.
Yes.
Has it been used in the same dosages?
Goddamn people with diabetes have been hiding it for 20 years.
Is that why Mary Tyler Moore was so skinny?
She had type 1, which we're not talking about as it relates to obesity, I don't think.
Okay.
I think type 1 is a whole different kettle of fish, but diabetics are skinny. Type 1 diabetics tend to be very skinny. I don't know about type 2 diabetics, but if this adds 2 years to the average lifespan,
Are you comfortable being a forever patient?
That's a monumental. Yes, quite comfortable. If we're talking about a substantial increase in health, not just lifespan, but health span.
Right.
But I'm so blessed to not be, to have, to be able to do it because it's not a big deal for me.
Right.
I could just cut down the carbs, which by the way is not easy,
No.
but it's doable.
Now, it doesn't work on a certain number of people. Like 10%.
Cutting down carbs or Ozempic?
Ozempic, that's right.
I know somebody like 10% or 12% of the population is.
They just got that dog in them.
Yeah, it just doesn't work, and they take it and they don't lose weight.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
And there's some people with thyroid issue. If you've had thyroid cancer, I mean, what do I know? But there's certain things that are incompatible with it.
Does the Free Press have a health column?
No, we should have a health column. We're sort of, it's interesting. Like half of the office is Maha and would never touch Ozempic, like
What's Maha?
make America healthy again. Like the RFK, like, no Tupperware, that stuff. And the other half is like mainlining Ozempic and Diet Coke. I don't know
That's
what we
not
meet
good
in the
for
middle.
you.
well, Diet Coke is not good,
for
but
you.
We work, it's an anti-Diet Coke podcast.
I love Diet Coke, but it's not good for you.
I don't think those artificial sweeteners are particularly good for you, but
Maybe if you take those with Ozempic, they're okay.
maybe they're not so
Yeah,
bad.
exactly.
Maybe
You
they're
only
not
have a
so
few
bad.
steps.
Well, here in the comedy world, we've lost so many people to
Ozempic.
obesity. No, to obesity.
Oh, do you think being fat makes people funny?
I think
I think
suffering
being
makes people
fat
funny.
can make you funny if you have jokes about being fat. I don't have jokes about being fat because I'm not fat.
She's saying like the psychology of growing up that way.
Suffering.
It's like how gay
develop
guys are
certain
funny.
Strategy.
A lot of gay guys are funny.
Yeah, I think suffering of any kind can make you funny. I think most fat people aren't funny, but just like most neurotic people aren't funny. But I think it can add to it. And then you ask the question, well, does being funny coexist with certain mental processes that encourage fatness? We have addictive personality,
compulsion,
compulsive
right.
and addictive personalities, so that there's a disproportionate number of alcoholics, I would guess, in stand-up comedy. I haven't done the numbers. I guess we could ask ChatGPT, but there might also be a disproportionate
Are
number
we
of
sure
people.
that being overweight is because of an addictive personality? I don't think it is. In some
But sometimes
people, it
it's
can be.
Well, what do you
genetic.
think it is? Just biological?
Yeah, I think that. I mean, why do you get heavier after 50? Because
Well, that's
they're-
clearly biological.
Right. But there's obviously a spectrum there of a metabolism that some people at 20 might have a metabolism which resembles
But that
a
might
50-year-old,
be. I mean, from the
some kids are
some kids
from
are fat,
5 years
but they
Also-
might their parents might be fat, and they encourage. We didn't have any good snacks in the house,
Well, that's
so
the
that
thing.
was helpful to
the
me.
Snacks it's like bringing a knife to a gunfight, really, if you're not on Ozempic because of the environmental factors. I mean, just like the cursory reading about things like hyperpalatability, like they engineer food molecules to have the right sodium and fat and sugar. You're overwhelmed. You just want to eat more and more. And it's like you're in a environment that's like force feeding you almost. It's like the chemicals are already at play here, so you might as well bring your own. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't.
You're talking about like the American food.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's engineered
Yeah.
to create more want and to for it to release chemicals of happiness when you eat something like a Big Mac. So I
insane.
think I do think there's an aspect of willpower to it, but I think there's a lot of other things too.
Yeah, I think that a lot of, morbidly obese and very heavy people, like that's just their genetic makeup. Like you maybe could have grown up in a house that had all the snacks in the world and you still would not have been terribly overweight.
Have you always been thin, Noam?
Yeah, when I was now I can gain weight now. When I was up until 40 years old, it did not matter how much I ate. I
Yeah.
would eat and eat until make myself sick because I was trying to gain weight. I weighed like 112 or 113 pounds when I was 30 years old.
That's
I
unbelievable.
I could not gain weight, and then as I got older, I began to be able to gain weight. I can gain weight now. Yeah, I don't think I become morbidly obese, but I can get pretty.
I was rail skinny until I was like 35.
Really?
Yeah, just
Oh, come on.
I was. I was. It's been well documented too. I mean, I could eat whatever I wanted and
Nothing would happen.
no.
Yeah, I was like that too. A pint of Haagen-Dazs with cookies crushed in, and
Because I'm here to
without
tell
thinking
you,
about it.
you can come back. You could join me. Jump on in. The
then
water's great.
But we wouldn't have the joy of eating. You're substituting the joy of eating with the joy of thinness because you're not eating as
to a
much.
certain extent.
So you're not getting that pleasure.
But if you don't eat all day, you could still put down like a big burger or something. You know what I mean? It's just like the grazing stops.
But also, you don't miss it. It sounds like that's the thing that Suzy.
Some people might miss it.
I think Ozempic turns off that part of your brain. Isn't that what
Well,
you're
it'd be like
saying?
not having a libido. I mean,
No, but it isn't not like
it would
having
be
a libido.
very helpful in many respects, but you wouldn't have the joy of
No, but
of
you get
sex.
joy from one slice of pizza. You get self-hatred from 6.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it brings you back to I think the better joy. I don't find joy in like binging.
Snacking.
Yeah.
You can still have sex, is what.
You're just no longer a sex addict.
Okay, but if your libido was sufficiently dulled, you'd be losing a lot. You'd be gaining, I guess more focus and
or every
less
time,
distraction.
or every time you got laid, it would be amazing.
Well, I don't know that that's. Are you? I don't know that she's saying that when she does eat, it's that much greater or not. She's
You
not
still
saying-
taste it.
right, but it's not. It's not heightened.
It's not emotional. It's not as emotional. The eating.
Listen, you can't be eating that much less. You're eating, as you said, like, okay, when I first started to gain weight in like my 40s, I said, all right, you know what? I'm not going to drink any more Coca-Cola. I used to drink like 4 or 5 Cokes a day.
Yeah.
And I immediately lost weight.
Right.
It was like nothing. The difference between over a long period of time, because we're talking, with somebody who's morbidly obese, you're talking about a drastic difference in food intake. But somebody like Suzy, you're talking about 400 fewer calories a day.
Probably.
It's like a couple cupcakes or something.
Wh-
Because you're not, otherwise you'd waste away.
That's
Which
the
side
idea.
Which side effects?
One day, baby.
You said your only side effects are being hot and
Yeah,
having
that was a big joke in my family. It's like, you look so good, I'm going to call mom. Like, you look so good, I think you need inpatient. Like, that was like the highest compliment.
Let me see if
What side effects would you tolerate for how you feel now about yourself and how you look? Well, you don't
Like,
have
what Faustian bargain would I be willing to
would you be willing to say once a week, let's make it once a month, you're going to be throwing up like as if you had food poisoning. Once a
I don't
month.
know if I can handle it. Once a month?
Once a month.
An hour?
No,
hour
I didn't say
puking?
an hour.
How long?
I said once a month. Oh yeah, like I think I said. Did I say once a month or one day a month? I guess I got to clarify for an 8-hour period, as if you had food poisoning.
That's horrible, Dan.
I would do it.
You do it for that.
no way.
To be
for
thin?
8 hours
8 hours. There's so many more hours. I mean, it's like,
nonstop.
what would I do
vomiting?
for another 5 inches? Probably kill you.
tell me about it.
I'd probably kill you for
Where-
5 inches of height.
Where would
wait.
the 5 inches
Well,
be?
Well, what about 2 days a month? 2 8-hour periods a month. You get to choose the 8 hours, by the way. So if you have a meeting, whatever, you can choose the 8-hour period.
Horrible.
I don't know.
I mean, listen, we do that when we get pregnant, right? And people.
That's
Well, I don't
true.
understand how anybody can deal with that. I would abort that baby so fast.
Well, that's like Amy Schumer had hyperemesis.
I don't
and was
tolerate.
throwing up.
Yeah, I
the
don't.
entire
I would
time.
get rid of the baby.
Oh.
If I were in that position, I don't tolerate nausea. Those that know me know I'm an emetaphobe.
Metaphobic. Yeah.
I'm a
People
emetaphobe.
always say it's like getting canceled is like seasickness. Everyone else thinks it's hilarious and you think you're going to die. It's like being nauseous. It's like everyone else is like,
Right.
what's up? But you think you're
Yeah, I
gonna
mean, nausea is no. everybody laughs at you, but that's exactly right.
die.
it's
It
hard.
is
That is
excruciating.
horrifying.
No. As somebody who had terrible like throw up sickness for months when
With
I was
Arik.
pregnant. Yeah, it was awful. I was like walking down the street throwing up into garbage can after garbage can. It's horrific.
Isn't
Was it worth
interesting how humans are? Other
yes.
So many
it was.
things in the rest of the animal kingdom just go more smoothly.
I know.
Like I've had pets who are pregnant. They're not throwing up.
I knew that this was going in.
Well,
that
they might be
direction.
nauseous, but you would never know because they can't communicate.
You get a
Yeah, animals aren't
sniffle.
Jews. That's why they don't act like this.
That's hilarious. You get a sniffle and the entire oh my god, you're sick. You're like blowing off, like getting like nauseous and throwing up when you're pregnant, as though like
I was not blowing it off. I was saying it's interesting to me that humans have so many things.
Complaints?
Right.
Well, I don't know what
foibles.
goes on in the animal kingdom regarding.
how do you know if like a lion is complaining about having morning sickness?
I do think that humans because of our large skulls. I was, what's his name? Yuval Harari was talking about this in *Sapiens*. That childbirth is like Russian roulette for humans, and I don't know that that's the case for other species necessarily.
Well, I mean,
but because of our large brains, it's hard to get through the birth canal.
Well, now we have reverse kind of evolution because, there's so much medical technology that intervenes to save the lives of women. They pass these narrow genes to the children. So there's more and more cesarean birth, stuff like that.
We ran a piece today in the Free Press about babies in the UK, I believe, who were born and there's 3 parents. So the embryo had genetic material of 1 man's sperm, 2 women's eggs. And what we're really talking about when we talk about Ozempic or any of these things is transhumanism. What technological advancements are we willing to accept? Are we wanting to try out in order to get around our biology? And I think with reproduction, abortion is going to feel like the least of these moral debates, I think, in the next few years.
Well, I get the answer is pretty much whatever they can come up with.
How do you do that?
Because our biology is trying to kill us, quite literally.
No, but how do you have 3?
It's like there's like the egg, and then there's like the mitochondria that is from a donor. Because if the original woman's egg has like a genetic defect in the mitochondria, and then so that gets transplanted, and then it's fertilized, and then through IVF, it's becomes a embryo, and then a fetus, and then a baby. But that is,
You wrote this article because you have personal experience with it, but is this an interest of yours in general? The medical science and... Yeah,
I did a big story about surrogacy, like the surrogacy boom, because it's...
Surrogacy.
Well, it's what you're saying, Noam, of like...
accent.
More, yes, oh God, that's embarrassing. But it's like more and more women are having cesarean sections. Also, less and less women are going to become pregnant. There's crazy endometriosis and PCOS, people who are afraid of giving birth, people who are just like, I don't want to do that. I would like to, like me, press a button and have that go away, but still get the result I want. And with surrogacy, and it's, gay couples, queer couples, the whole thing. It's like this global business, basically. And you could pay a guy in Mexico who I was on the phone with. In America, it's very, tightly controlled. You can only put 1 embryo up. It has, in some states, it has to be altruistic. You can't get paid a lot. If you pay enough money, you could get triplets in Mexico. They'll just put more embryos up. And then it's this weird, horrible class thing where there's this upper class in the West outsourcing the growing of their children to wombs in the developing world. And so that's one aspect. That's
how close are we? I don't know if you've done the research to...
And then trans, of course.
To a womb that's not a human, but I guess an incubator, where you don't even need a human being. You just put this thing in the oven.
Yeah, that's like a big thing with like these de-extinction projects. Like they're de-extincting the dodo and the woolly mammoth and the dire wolf and all of these other animals that didn't exist before. And they're basically taking genetic material and putting them in an elephant to create a mammoth.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Well, can I go
like
back
Jurassic
to a
Park,
thing you said, because it's something that's been, I might have talked about in this podcast. So
I think you did.
I did?
Well, are you talking about the class and people being able to afford?
Yeah, should I skip over it?
No, I want to know.
That the cancer thing?
So I took a Grail test. You know what a Grail test is?
No.
It's like a blood test that it tests you for like 60 or 52 different cancers. Just like that, And it's cost, what did it cost? Like a couple $1,000.
$700, I think he said.
And I asked my doctor, and I asked him about other tests, like, why? Because I'm always fascinated by this. Like, there's always this magic point in time. You have a tumor, and it's like literally a moment in time where it crosses a threshold and it's too late. And if like you get it one day earlier, it clearly there is, right? I'm like, why don't I get this test every month? Like, well,
right.
It was $1,000. You know what?
That's like the Biden prostate cancer stuff. It's like, you're testing this all the time.
So and more things are like that. And he gave me answers which didn't really, there's false positives, blah, blah. None of it really added up. But it occurred to me that as we get more and more of these tests, that if we allow things to go as they would naturally go, you're going to have rich people just testing themselves with their morning breakfast, $1,000 a day, for every disease, catching it in the very, very earliest stages.
Well, I mean, this is why Elizabeth Holmes wasn't wrong. You know, the Theranos woman.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like she was onto something.
And the
it's
insurance
this.
is not going to pay for it, and Medicaid is not going to pay for it, and it's going to lead to a lot of resentment. You know, you could even begin to see it with Ozempic, like all the poor people are walking around with fat asses, and all the rich, you know what's.
Yeah,
this is a real issue.
Oh, no question. It's like the ultimate divide, and it's like
Ozempic's $1,000 a month or something.
I was able to like get it covered by insurance, and there's different coupons, and
You can get
you
it
could get
for
it
service
cheap.
animal.
Now
Yeah.
you can get it for like a
Couple $100.
You can also go and get an off-brand one.
But
like
even a couple
online.
$100 is significant for some people.
A compounding pharmacy, no question.
But
no
it,
question.
it should be covered by insurance for those who have.
If you have a real,
obese,
if you have
If you're
a
morbidly
real,
obese,
yeah.
but if you're just vain and
Yeah.
insecure,
No, my best friend's a doctor in the Bronx, and she's like, I wish I could get my patients. They all need it, but they just can't afford it.
yeah.
And the insurance won't pay for it. Let's do a fundraiser
Yeah.
here at the Comedy Cellar.
Yeah, that'll look great. Hey, guys, I know you live in a food desert and you can't get fresh produce, but you might want to try this pill. I mean, it's pretty freighted, really. It's like not allowing people to get healthy on their own. So you're giving them a pharmaceutical, then you're either siding with big food or big pharma. It's not a great choice here.
Do you know that I don't see any reason why in 10 years or less from now, I can't have a home MRI machine
Oh my God.
run by AI, which I lie down in every morning, and it
Yes.
just tells me, oh, another day you're okay.
Well, and then you'll have an AI. I mean, we're not going to trust humans to do surgery in 10 years.
No.
You know what I
Well,
mean? It's going to be
the
like, you had a
problem-
human doctor? That's humiliating.
The problem is if they find something that they can't cure, and now you're just worried for nothing.
But
that's
also,
that's
isn't
the
it-
other side of that coin.
That's so
Like
much
at a
worse.
certain
Being
age,
worried for nothing.
all men have prostate cancer.
I have a friend.
What if they tell you have Alzheimer's, we have no cure, but you'd rather not know?
Yeah, I have a friend.
Well, he'll forget.
Who was diagnosed, I don't see him that much anymore, but he's a good friend, who was diagnosed in January with ALS. In March, they told him they made a mistake.
No.
Had a compressed vertebrae
Yes.
or something, and it was mimicked the symptoms of ALS.
That's
Wow.
fucking
And so he had
horrible.
how many months was he living with that horrible
2 months.
diagnosis?
He was like, he left his wife. He did, can you imagine?
Luckily for him, he was already banging everything that
Oh,
was.
perfect.
Well, I guess you could. That's a lawsuit. I don't know what kind of mental anguish.
It has to
but it's
be negligent.
2 months
It has to be
of
negligent.
mental anguish.
That
You're
might-
saying that wouldn't happen with AI, though, right?
No, it might. I don't know. Probably less. But I'm just making a point. Like I think Dan was saying. Well, the flip side is you might have to have a false positive and live with.
No,
anguish for
you have a
certain amount of
real
time.
positive, but they can't cure it. So now, you're at the very beginning stages of Alzheimer's, but it really won't manifest itself for another 5 years. Would you rather know now or find out in 5 years?
I
No,
mean,
if there's something that can't be done, I'd prefer not to know.
Right.
But that's already the case. I mean, you could be diagnosed with like the beginnings of Alzheimer's.
But he's saying if every day he's going to go into his home machine to get a
Not
fresh
going into any
diagnosis.
machine
No
and-
tumors,
Oh my
especially
God!
tumors are the
First
big
of all,
one.
you can't go into an MRI machine every day. Doesn't
Why?
it like give
Then
you?
you'll get the radiation, and then you'll die from
But
that.
it's not
not
radiation, it's
radiation.
magnetism.
Magnetic.
It's perfectly harmless, I think.
I don't
believe
think
so,
so.
too.
Somebody just got sucked into an MRI machine. Did you read this by
you see
his
that on Instagram?
necklace?
Like
No,
an
that-
escalator?
I'm serious. Somebody it was all over.
Well, that's a freak accident. That
it was
can happen in an
all
elevator. or an
over
escalator.
Instagram.
That's really
Or
scary.
a stand-up MRI, there's no limit to where this is going. The world is fucking changing.
Do you guys think Ozempic's a net positive or net negative?
Of course, it's
Well, so it would obviously be a net positive, unless again there's some horrible side effects that we don't know about. But that because it's been used for diabetes for so long, that doesn't seem to be the case.
According to
So how could it be a negative?
According to my doctor, it is a very good thing, and it's been well researched.
It's
and
only a negative if you're like a thin guy that now has more competition.
I know a lot of people are getting pregnant who had trouble conceiving. Yes, on with Ozempic because it lowers your chance of PCOS. Someone said was like, well, you're just hot. More people want to have sex with you. But I think it's almost like the birth control pill, in that it's this seismic change, and I think now it's sort of coming into sharper relief the downstream effects of the birth control pill. And I think a lot of people might say net negative on that one at this point. I would still say net positive.
the birth control pill.
The birth control pill. I think this is.
How long have you been on the pill for?
I got off the pill.
Woohoo!
That's the Maha. That's the Maha.
Now, why is it the pill?
That's
Like there's other pills. How did this become the pill?
that's fun.
Because it was the most important pill. What's a more important pill?
Are you on the
Lipitor?
pill?
I think it's because you weren't really allowed to talk about it. It's like a euphemism.
Oh yeah, it's like, are you on the pill? That doctor's okay.
You have to get on. Make sure
you're having sex with.
Oh yeah.
Are you on the pill? Yeah,
That's
that's
hilarious.
hitting the bottle. There.
I have a heart out. I have to compliment myself on requesting Suzy to come on the show. I always pick. I'm
Very good. Susie's.
I guess it wasn't that hard. It wasn't.
No, but it's true. You do get that compliment. We discussed.
Okay, I have to go uptown
you.
to do a fundraiser, but
we're
continue the conversation.
Pretty much done here. You want to talk about Israel?
No, for the love of God, no. Please, no. It's like, okay, now let's
What do
get
you
to the
think of this?
discussion. Did you see Norm Finkelstein's tweet from 8 days ago, the 16th tweet?
Did he?
Oh my God, no. Oh my God, no. But I just know, like, Noam is really in the trenches in that way, and he deserves credit for it. But it's not easy. It's not easy to muddy
With all the people dying, I know.
battlefield there.
It's terrible.
But as Omer Bartov says, without clarity, there's complicity. Or something.
You are always looking for the truth, and you are willing to amend your position and your opinion if somebody can give you a real answer that is based in fact.
I hope that's true. Everybody, everybody I'm sure has their blind spots, but there's another aspect to it.
You always say that how you don't, though.
I said my father always said he didn't. But there's another thing, which is this methodology. Like I'm always like, how did you get there? Show me your steps. How did you get past the fact that Hamas is booby trapping the buildings? How did you get past the fact of the general? And it seems like he just skipped over it all. Like I was sure he was going to have some answers.
He was like, bye, nice to meet you. I gotta go.
Oh, I didn't. Yes, I am a tenure Brown professor, but I didn't expect to be challenged.
That's what he said.
I will say one thing
Suzy
about that
did
because
say
it reminds me of the
didn't
free
want
press.
to talk about it.
My
No,
knowledge
no.
of the free press, and one of the reasons it's to be admired, it relates to something Bartov said. Bartov said in his New York Times, or maybe it was in his interview with somewhere, he alluded to it in the Times, that there's a consensus now that Israel is committing genocide. And I thought, what do you mean by consensus? Do you mean like a bunch of like double-blind replicated experiments were done and people have decided, yes, Einstein was right, but we didn't think so? Like, you're talking about highly politicized institutions that don't even have a diverse group of people.
And who, by the way, pissed away their credibility
That's right.
unbelievably
We had
for
a
the past 10
consensus.
years.
We had
Yeah.
a consensus. It's all an analogy. We had a consensus that Biden was in good mental health. We had a consensus that Lab Leak was racist. We had a consensus
That's
that
right.
Trump was a spy. We know what these universities are like.
Unless we forget, we used to have a consensus that if you put a ice pick up your nose, you could cure your depression. Like, even I don't subscribe to the,
We also had a consensus that COVID came from a wet market
Yeah.
in Wuhan, right?
So it's like the science is changing, even if you're a person who believes the science. You know what I mean?
Right. But yeah, you said everything basically along the lines I'm saying. But what I wanted to say to him, I didn't get to say, is that you say it's consensus. I'm saying there's a bubble. What you're describing is not consensus because it's not the product of 6 professors who see it, who are generally pro-Israel and whatever that mix is. But the free press, that's what I was getting to. The free press is unique to all modern news gathering journalist organizations that I know. I believe it was more like this years ago, in that they actually do have diverse opinions and they are actually friendly with each other, but having it out with each other. I'm sure it gets testy from time to time. So if a consensus is reached at the free press about an issue, that is something worth respecting in some way. Oh, really? All those people, they've all kind of beat the shit out of each other. They finally all came to agreement on the fact it was genocide. That would mean something to me.
Right.
So I would know all the people whose minds had to change, all the people who could be relied upon to give very, very strong arguments, play devil's advocate, steel man, as Barry likes to say.
Right.
His consensus is meaningless.
Right.
Yeah, it's like me and the other guy at Brown.
No, I told you that it was like Francesca Albanese or whatever.
Albanese.
Albanese.
I asked ChatGPT deep research, O3 engine, it's like uncut, ChatGPT uncut, to go through all the genocide scholars that are, I forget how I worded it, like that would be considered respected in serious academic circles, something like that. And what's their position on genocide? And it gave me and I said, and also tell me what was their, what were they known for vis-a-vis the Arab-Israeli conflict or just their general right-left place on the spectrum prior to saying it was genocide? And it came up with 8 or 9 that were supported that it was genocide, and fewer, 6 on the other end. Every single person who said it was genocide was either known to be pro-Palestinian or deeply progressive.
Right.
And every single person who was a Zionist. So, what a shock.
Right.
What a shock.
And this speaks to what has been going on in academic institutions, and there's been a million examples of this for the past 20 years. It's just sort of coming to the fore.
Yeah.
But thank you for saying that about the free press. We pride ourselves on that, and we debate all of these things a lot. We're never gonna endorse a candidate, for example. It's just not how we roll, because it's sort of showing your hand a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, well, how can I trust what the New York Times is reporting about Biden? They want Biden to win. They told me that. You know what I mean? So
you should do the case for this guy, the case for that guy.
Yeah, and we try and do that. We did there's a few points that I can think of where, about the Jeffrey Epstein stuff recently. We ran 6 stories. It's a hoax. He killed himself. They're right to worry about it. They aren't right to worry about it. We really kind of got into every angle you could. And I think
it's all bull. I think there's nothing there.
Yeah, of course he would kill himself.
Oh.
No, I know. I think he did kill himself.
I think he did kill himself.
Yeah, he's not Mossad.
Oh, no.
Do you think Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone?
Yes, of course.
No. He was killed. Come on, you guys. Listen.
I can't explain the missing minutes.
We got a message from Anna Raskuat Paz.
About Macron?
Yeah. And she said that they're finally sick of Candace Owens' bullshit. You didn't see this?
No.
Oh, they're suing her.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Let's get to that later. We have to go. What did you ask me right before that?
Jeffrey Epstein, the minutes, the 2 minutes.
Oh, so this is what I think, because I have security cameras, and there is this thing where it starts a new file. You think, first of all, you can be sure that any security system at a prison is very, very old,
right?
Not kept up to date. Like, for instance, when I do a New York State unemployment thing, I have to fax in the like this. Like, you can't even find. So you imagine technology is very, very old, and in those old systems, file size was an issue because there was a time the Windows couldn't even handle a big file, and so it divides it into individual files. How that happens, I don't know. But it happened, so the missing minutes are right at midnight, which is when these files turn over. So this is my theory. Often you have to set the parameters of when it records. And by the way, this used to be even in calendar alerts. They kind of got over this for child locks. Anyway, and what you couldn't do is say, I want to record from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. because it's 2 different days. It can't process.
It's like a Y2K issue.
Right. So what you end up doing is say record on Monday from noon to 11:59, and Tuesday from 12 a.m. to. It doesn't give you 11:59 and 59 seconds.
Did he kill himself at midnight?
No. Well, no. That's where the missing minutes are. No, I don't think that's where he killed himself. I assume that would have come out. So you sometimes have this minute gap.
Right.
Now we hear there's more than a minute gap, but that could be because something kept. What I did read is that the minute gap was it was like an overlap.
Right.
There was some. I think it's nothing. I think it's nothing. There's some detail that's not coming to my mind now. But
Periel, you think the Clintons did
she
it?
believes whatever she sees on Instagram.
I think he was killed.
You do?
Yeah. It's just.
Here's a more important question: if he were not Jewish, would it be the issue that it is now?
I thought you were going to say, would he be on Ozempic if he were elected?
It's so
No,
much
it's the last
fueled by
name.
Is the fact that he's
Also, it's like this idea that he committed the worst crimes that have ever been committed. He did disgusting things. Have worse things happened? Surely. Have worse things happened in this country? Yeah. It's like, I think what, P. Diddy did is equally as horrendous. I mean, it's horrible.
Have you seen Michael Tracy's series of tweets where he's finding these videos of the Epstein's victim. I mean, it's even less credible than I assumed it was. One victim says, yes, I was being assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein, and then he turned into a demon before my eye. Like, literally stuff like that on Alex Jones. Like, it's just like, you don't even know quite what's true.
Right.
And they call him, of course, there's some imprecision. They call him a pedophile, but really it's
a hebephile.
Yeah, a hebephile. Yeah, which underage girls is.
I
okay.
hoped we weren't going to get into this, but
No,
I
no,
do.
no,
It's a good point. He was not into children.
That's right. That is, I mean, again, what
Listen,
he did is
he deserves to go to jail.
disgusting, but he
what
was
he's into,
not.
I believe, is troubled girls.
Barely legal type thing.
Troubled.
Barely illegal.
Yeah, barely illegal is that porn, like softcore porn, where they look like they're underage, but actually, trust us, we have overage actors.
Yeah.
But it's a sickness. They're underage. They're troubled. I'm a little skeptical of the idea that they had no idea when they're going to massage this dude because their friend brings it. Like that they were all shocked.
Right. He got like the other teenagers to recruit the teenagers.
No, it's horrible.
It's so sad.
But that's only because. But I'm not forgiving. I mean, I'm skeptical of that part of the story. But it doesn't matter because I think it all comes down to the fact that they're troubled, abused, the kind of girls who would be prostituting themselves.
And not believed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A man took you to his mansion in West Palm. What are you talking about? You know what I mean?
So he's definitely a threat to society. Definitely deserves to be in jail.
And what about, what's her name?
Ghislaine.
Nobody even knows how to say her name. Well, that's part of the story here is that she's sitting with her legs up in a minimum security prison, not apparently worried about anybody killing her, even though she knows everything that Epstein knew, right?
Right.
That's a little weird.
That point, that resonates with me more than this tape in the...
I've been saying for a while, so, in every Hollywood movie where there's a blackmail scene, they always say, if anything should happen to me, I have an envelope in my wife's safe. Jeffrey Epstein, this brilliant genius, he took no precautions. The only way you can stop the story is kill me, and there's nothing I can do. I mean, if you kill me, it stops there.
Unbelievable.
All right, I got to go. We're going down.
Okay.
Well, what do you mean you have to go?
We're going.
I'm so happy this worked out that
Thank you.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Suzy. Podcast.
Ozempic apologist, Jeffrey Epstein apologist. No, I'm kidding.
Israel apologist.
Israel apologist. Yeah, we really hit them all. Should we hit gender affirming care for minors while we're at it? No,
I
I'm
thought
kidding.
we could talk about Bill Cosby a little.
Yeah, no, of course.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you
for
so
listening.
much.
Podcasts at comedyseller.com for questions, concerns, suggestions.
It's perfectly fair for.
Do you think it's normal to sign off on a show?
Nobody's listening anymore.